Well, hello everyone, nonprofit friends, event friends. Bobby D here with Virtual Event Fundraising, and I'm super excited to have my next guest, Kevin Spykerman with Winspire. I've been working with Winspire for many, many years as our travel providers for many of the events that we've been doing. And Kevin, I think it's great to have you on this conversation, talking about the new normal. And yeah, okay, now what? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. And as you said, what is the new norm? A month ago, we probably wouldn't have thought we would have this conversation, but here we are. So
Right, right. His phone's ringing off the hook. You know, it's
yeah.
what do we do?
Exactly.
Right on. So you were saying that this weekend you still had some events going on. Let's talk a little bit about just the most recent history that you've seen with this, and then we'll kind of talk a little bit, forward from there.
Yeah. So, I mean, recently, obviously, we've had a lot of events that have been canceling, and I think the wording is not correct. They've been postponing. And I know Justin from Fundraise did a great webinar yesterday just about, being very careful in the wording that you're using, is that we're not canceling because people want refunds, but a lot of events have been postponing. And so, yeah, we had quite a few events postponed. We still had a couple that actually still happened. And so we had 25 events last weekend that still sold a Winspire product in their auction. And I think we helped them raise about $60,000 net just this past weekend. So there is, events are postponing, but some events are still happening. And I would say maybe a third of those were physical events in parts of the country that maybe haven't been as affected, but a number of them were virtual, online, things like that.
Okay, so with the virtual and online events, are you seeing products selling, through those virtual and online auctions?
We are. And I think the key is that, people are still going to travel. Once the dust settles and the new norm becomes norm, I think people are still they're going to be traveling, right? They're maybe not going to be going to certain parts of the world for a while, but domestically, people are going to be traveling. And what's great is that, what we did is about a month ago, we came out and we said, hey, anybody who sells anything, for the distant future, typically we ask them to book within 1 year from the event date.
Right.
But we said, hey, the winner can travel, or they can book anytime from now until the end of 2021. So really traveling to 2022. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. So just having that peace of mind that, hey, we can sell this travel, there's a company that's going to stand behind it, and, the winners aren't going to be rushed to, travel when it's unsafe or they're not comfortable with it. So we're here to support the winners, but in supporting the winners, we're also supporting the charities, making sure that their donors are well taken care of.
That's right. Right now, for those of you that don't know, what Winspire is, share us a little bit about kind of the elevator pitch of what Winspire does and how you support nonprofits within fundraising, live events, or now virtual events.
Yeah, live, virtual, online, silent auctions as well. But what we do is we put together kind of bucket list, unique vacations that charities can use in their auction. What we do is we go out and we kind of negotiate pricing for the charities, and so the charities can use our product without having to purchase it up front, and then they would only pay for it if it sells on the back end. And what Winspire does, what kind of sets us apart just kind of in the industry, is we're really trying to focus on those bucket list unique items that people would want to bid on. Not just Broadway shows, but a dinner pre-show with a couple of the cast members, post-event or post-show, you get to go backstage with these cast members and do a do a tour of the back behind the scenes. So really those bucket lists, kind of hard to find, unique, fun things, villa in Fiji with a private island for a day.
I'd be okay with that right now, man.
Yeah. Well, I must say I've been there twice in the last year, so I can't complain. And it is worth its weight in gold for sure.
Beautiful. That's absolutely amazing. So, so now, okay, the now what? Now, as we're making this pivot, into, more, virtual events, like how could some of these, experiences, be utilized? I know the online auction is just, that's a no brainer. What was the silent auction is now an online auction. So that, obviously, in there, we're working to develop and create, virtual live auctions, so then I'm, useful again, within that. But maybe what are some other ideas of how a nonprofit could utilize some of these travel packages to raise some more money within the virtual space?
Yeah, I think the first thing I think people just need to get past the not wanting to use travel because of just the current climate. And like I said, people are going to travel at some point, and if there's a company that's supporting those people and when they can book whenever for the next year and a half, I think just kind of getting past that and saying, okay, people are going to travel and people still are going to go on vacation. They're still going to have a vacation budget. So, using our product online auctions, very simple, everything we provide easily done. The other thing is that what people could do is take 5-10 of our items and just offer it to their donors as a pick list and say, hey, there's no bidding on these, but here's a list of 10 packages that if you and your family are going to go on vacation next year, consider purchasing it through the nonprofit. And if you do that, a portion of that will go to the organization.
Nice.
Again, there's no auction related. You can put that out in an email blast. It's really just kind of a menu of vacations that people can purchase through the organization. The organization will work with them to decide if that's 20, 30, 40, 50% margin for them.
Wow. I mean, and that sounds like a win-win. I mean, your donor, they're still going to travel. So then that's, a win for the nonprofit to be like, here, let us help you with this. And then they get to work with your expert booking and concierge service to create something that they might have never have had access to because they have this relationship with you. That's a great idea.
Exactly. And the great thing too is that, the organization, once it's sold, the organization, they're completely out of it. Our booking team handles everything, so the organization doesn't have to play booking agent. Which can be daunting, especially in this time of year in the new norm. Imagine if an organization sold 10 trips at the last auction and now they have to go back and, work on canceling and rescheduling. Let us do that work for them.
Yeah, let's let the nonprofits focus on their programs and the impact that they're creating, and then let's let the experts at Winspire be in that, kind of in that world. So that's a great idea. And that could almost just be like an evergreen thing that could live in the fundraising tab of a nonprofit. It's like, here's many ways that you could attend a virtual event. You could just give online. We have peer-to-peer fundraising, but then we have these travel experiences that you could purchase through us. And then we receive a pretty sizable portion to help us fundraise and you get to travel. Oh, great idea.
Exactly. Yep.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Okay. So now, maybe I'm a nonprofit and now I just got emails today that my May events are now postponing into, June and July and whatnot. So let's say that I'm, a nonprofit and I come to you and I'm like, hey, Kevin, how do we, what do we do now? It's like we were going to use your packages or maybe we weren't, but now, we're thinking about doing a virtual event, we might be postponing, what would be kind of a first tip that you could provide us with?
Yeah, first tip would be to talk to your professional auctioneer that is already working with you. Nice. And we definitely say that, an auctioneer is worth paying 100%, paying for professionals. So talk to your professional auctioneer because they have a really good pulse of kind of what's what in that market and kind of what the best practices are. So we talk to them, but as far as we're concerned, our product is easily changeable to a different date. But, we would talk to them about, what are some online resources that you guys might need? We have some great in the industry that can do an online auction. I know, Charity Buzz is a very simple one that, you don't have to do a whole auction, but you can put 5 or 6 really cool products up on their website very seamlessly. So there are some ways that you can still fundraise. And I think that's the key is that nonprofits, they still need to raise funds, even in the new norm.
Yeah, totally.
They can't just cancel fundraising events or even put them off for a year. Because they need to keep the doors open. And I really think that this is when the organization needs to take their mission statement and really highlight their mission statement and, help people understand what they're trying to achieve. We're not just trying to raise money, but this is the mission statement of what we're really trying to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's that. Great ideas. So what are some of the, I guess, the most popular or kind of as the pivot's happening or this evolution that's happening in regards to domestic travel? Because I think, there might be some people that aren't traveling overseas anytime soon, but what are some ideas or some options that are in the, in the intercontinental US that, that are exciting, that are amazing, that you can't find anywhere else?
Yeah. So I think, as the new norm kind of unfolds, I think, it's still pretty early in terms of just kind of what areas are going to be affected most for long-term. But I think, some of the things that we have, again, assuming that things go back to somewhat normal, what we have is, like I said, the New York City. We have quite a few things in New York City with not just the Broadway shows, but the meet and greets, things like that. We have a dinner for 10 at James Beard House, private chef dinner at James Beard House.
I've been there. That place is amazing.
It is, isn't it? It's definitely worth trying at least once.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay, so New York, what else? Like kind of what else kind of across, I guess if we're going from
Yep.
east to west, kind of ping a couple things throughout there.
Yeah. So Chicago, we have a Wrigley rooftop. Wrigley Field is just an iconic
Let's
ballpark.
go Cubs.
Right. Get the W.
Awesome.
Yeah, but you get to watch a game from one of the rooftop restaurants from across the street, but all your food, beverages are taken care of, and it's kind of
Wow.
what the cool kids are doing in terms of watching the game. You don't go into the ballpark, but you go to the rooftop restaurant.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, so we have that. We have Nashville. We got some things in Nashville, but then coming across the country, we have some really great things in Napa. What Winspire has done is we have access to it's called the Setting Inn, and it's a 7-bedroom bed and breakfast. And there's amazing. It's basically right in the middle of the vineyards up there in Napa, right on Highway 29. But you also get a private tour, a private tasting of the setting wines, and so it's something that we have exclusivity with. And I've been there, was there in January with some of our team members, and you walk in, and I mean it's VIP all the way because there's 7 rooms. David, who handles the property. When you're checking in, he's thanking them, hey, thank you so much for supporting the, Boys and Girls Club of, whatever it is. So really what we're trying to do is with these unique, awesome items and packages, we're trying to tie it back to the organization. And so
great.
When these donors are traveling and they're checking in, we're really trying to work with the property to make sure that they're thanking them, thank you so much for donating, or there might be a note in the room, from the organization. Saying thanks for supporting JRF or whatever that is.
Wonderful. That's awesome. So as we're pivoting or making the change towards more virtual events, one thing that I'm really noticing is that we're able to include more multi-generations within that event, because if we're gathered around the laptop or we're gathered around the smart television in our home, I mean, it could be grandma and grandpa, mom and dad, aunt and uncle, kids and grandkids, within that. What are some family experiences that might appeal to the younger generations and kind of get them to, say, hey, we want to bid on that? Or what I'm foreseeing is that they're going to actually be holding the phone and doing the bidding. Be like,
right.
bid, so yeah.
Right. Yeah. Take the phone away from the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously we have Disney World, we have Disney World, we have Disneyland, Disney's kind of just an iconic thing.
Yeah.
But like even the Broadway in New York City, a lot of families are purchasing that.
Nice.
So having a family of 4 with 2 kids, sit down with cast members and go to the show. I mean, it's just, again, you'll always remember that as a kid.
Totally.
We also have, some shopping sprees that, believe it or not, teenagers, hey, I'll go to Bloomingdale's and spend $1,000 and, have a personal shopper go along with me. So things like that, family oriented. Wrigley is also, basically everything we do, we could turn it into a trip for 4.
Okay.
So even if it's a trip for 2 and you see it on our website, you want to make it for 4, we could easily make it for 4.
Okay. So everything's pretty much customizable, kind of fit your needs, book when we need to, and kind of take everything there.
Exactly. Yep.
Wonderful. That's awesome. Great. Well, any other ideas, thoughts, kind of, I guess, words of encouragement as we're all social distancing together and now again, really letting the new normal sink in?
Yeah, no, I would say this is where we have to lean in. Lean into your donors, lean into your board, lean into, people like yourself, Bobby. Thank you so much for kind of taking the lead on a lot of just the conversations being had. I appreciate you and Justin at Fundraise and just kind of leading the charge. But yeah, lean in. The new norm, you still have to fundraise. And so let's get creative. Let's get scrappy. But, Winspire, yourself and other companies, we're here to support these organizations in what that new norm looks like. But we're excited to be here. We're excited to figure out what the new norm is, but we're always here to listen. So awesome.
Well, very good. Well, Kevin, I really, really appreciate your time with me today. I know you're super busy. Obviously, phone was ringing off the hook. So thank you so much.
Yep, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Again, Kevin Spykerman with Winspire. I'll put all of their information here below. And check them out. If you're looking for that, everybody's going to need to travel. So let's give your donors, a chance to do that and a chance to help, fund your mission, all in the same, kind of cause. And, it's a win-win-win all the way through. So Kevin, thank you again. Again, Bobby D here, Virtual Event Fundraising and Inspire Hearts. Everyone, remember, what you do does matter. Keep being awesome, and we're going to be able to change the world together for a better place. All right, everyone, have a great one. We'll see you later.
See you guys.